What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Paladin CCG here, and in this video I'm gonna be showing you guys a basic and a pretty easy way to make a successful or tad bit successful Murloc deck. Now, I'm not gonna be telling you that this deck would 100% have the win rates or stuff like that. Whenever I've played with this deck, potentially I've got around 7 wins out of 10, so it's like 70%. I don't know. So this deck is pretty awesome. We're gonna be making it in this video as a brand new deck, and the hero is Paladin, obviously, because this guy is awesome. Now, thing is, the hero power of Paladin is unnecessary or is not that useful for this deck. So we're gonna be needing someone to change the hero power. And since this guy is a Murloc too, so he's helpful for this deck. It is Sir Finley. This guy, you could get this guy from the League of Explorers expansion, and yeah, he's a pretty decent legendary. I mean, cheap because just costs 1 mana and 3 health and 1 attack, which is I don't care about that because I'm just playing this guy for the battle cry. Discover a new basic hero power, and the the thing is, paladin decks. I mean, this deck, Murloc deck, tends to lose heroes' health pretty easily. So if you get a hero power such as restore to health, or gain to armor, then that would be pretty decent. So yeah, Serafin Limergilkan. Another thing is we're gonna be having loads and loads of Murloc. The main thing about Murlocs is how they can um, help each other while gaining the board control. So the thing is, 1 mana and 2 mana Murlocs are most important. So we're gonna be having two of these Murloc Tide Callers, because whenever a Murloc is summoned after this guy is summoned, this guy gains +1 attack. So yeah, that would be decent. Another thing is this guy, Bluegill Warrior. This guy is pretty decent because of its obviously charge in 2 hits, and that's it. So this guy would be quite useful. Yeah, this guy is useful. Another thing is we're gonna be making more and more Murlocs summon, so we need some decent Murloc or some decent card to summon more and more Murlocs. So we're gonna be needing Murloc Knight, that is exclusive to Paladin, which is pretty decent for this deck. So whenever you have 6 mana and this guy is in your hand, just summon this guy and um, just use your hero power. You could gain benefits from your hero power as well as inspire, because it can summon a random Murloc, which could be sometimes pretty irritating for your opponent, that each turn this guy is living and you're gonna summon one more Murloc to deal with. So we're gonna be having 2 copies of Murloc Knight. We're gonna be having 2 copies of Murloc Tide Hunter. This is not for dealing with your opponents, dealing damage to your opponents, or getting the board control, because Murloc Tide Hunter is not that great in gaining board control. It's just for this guy, Murloc Tidecaller, because whenever Murloc is summoned, gain +1 attack. So if you've got 3 mana, you put up this guy first off, and then you put up this guy, he'll gain 2 attack, and it would be 1 cost card with 3 damage and 2 health, which is just great. Now we're gonna be needing more and more 1 drop to 4 drop cards. So we're gonna be having this guy because all other Murlocs have +1 attack, which is absolutely stupid. I mean, this deck is pretty OP, and I guess this is totally broken deck. Another thing is, I don't think so. Cold Light Oracle is that great in this deck because um I don't know, we don't need more and more draws in this deck because yeah, we're getting decent cards, but 3 cost card with 2 and 2 is not that great. So you're gonna be needing Cold Light Seer for giving other Murlocs the +2 health because some Murlocs need that. So we're gonna be putting 2 copies of that. The most important Murloc to craft is this guy, Murloc War Leader, because it's 3 cost a Murloc with 3 attack and 3 health, which is decent. But all other Murlocs which are already summoned, this is not his battle cry or something, so this can work anytime. He gives +2 attack and +1 health, which is pretty decent. So 2 copies of that. Now, the legendary of my choice, obviously, in a Murloc deck, is Old Murkai. This guy's got charge, and yeah, you could check out more and more YouTube videos on this guy. This guy's crazy beast when summoning after you've got potentially 2 to 3 Murlocs, because the 2 to 3 Murlocs are already attacking, and this guy comes up and gains +1 for each of these. That's 5-4, which is pretty awesome. So, yep, this guy is there. Now, the thing is, if you guys don't own League of Explorers, this is a pretty tough deck for you guys because Sir Finley is a pretty important part of this deck, and one more card is pretty important part, which is Anyfin can happen. 2 copies of this card, because if you have all the Murlocs already summoned and all are dead, and you're up to 10, you've got 10 mana unused, you could just put up this guy and just vanish your opponent or something like that. I don't know. This card is pretty awesome. So yeah, those are all the Murlocs. Now, this deck does not have any high cost creatures or pretty intense damaging creatures, so we're gonna be needing something for that. And obviously this guy has to come up, which is Dr. Boom. mm, all the Hearthstone player must be knowing this guy. Summon 2/1/1 boom bots, warning bots may explode. I mean, yeah, those bots cost about 2 to 4, probably. Deal 2 to 4 damage to your opponent's minions or the hero, which is pretty awesome. And this guy is just my favorite legendary, obviously. Um, Another thing for support of Morlocks is giving them extra boost of health and attack and stuff like that. So we're gonna be getting 2 of this guy, Blessing of Might. Give a minion +3 attack, which is absolutely decent. This deck is considerably pretty weak, as the hero does not restore that much health, and if you don't get any health restoration from Sir Finlay's discover new hero power, then this thing, 2 Holy Lights, just costs 2 mana and restores 6 health from anything. So yeah, that's pretty decent. Another card which is underestimated quite a bit and not used in many decks is Blessing of Kings, which can be used in this deck pretty successfully. So yeah, 2 copies of that, give a minion +4 health and +4 attack, which can be pretty bad when you have old Merc Eye set up on your board with about 3 4 attack and gain more 4 attack, which would be 8 attack, and more 3 Morlock setup and stuff like that. So that's just absolutely decent. The final thing is you need at least one or two weapons. Weapon of my choice, True Silver Champion. Whenever a hero attacks, restore 2 health. So restoration is a key element in this deck. If you don't have any restoration things, you cannot survive playing this deck. So 2 cards. You could have if you've got Guardian of Kings, you could have that guy also to restore 6 health to your hero. But I'm not gonna be doing that because we're gonna be needing big hunters such as Dr. Boom. So we're gonna be needing more and more legends and stuff like that. So 4 Reaper 4000. Now this legend is quite a bit decent. I mean, not that great if you put him in decks up against just one hitters or two hitters, because this guy is decent for board control. I mean, if this guy is being played on the board and you hit him for a Doctor Boom, if you hit a Doctor Boom and it also damages the boom bots, then you're pretty much in danger because the boom bots would obviously hit you back. But yeah, this guy is pretty decent and gains board control. So yeah, second legendary of my choice. The third one, the third legendary, is a pretty decent guy, but not that great in this deck. But I'm gonna be obviously gonna be using Visera or just Sarah or whatever you can say. At the end of your turn, add a dream card to your hand. Now, why is this important? Is that the dream cards have too much potential. And my favorite of all those is plus 10 attack and plus 10 health. Add to a minion, which would be quite dangerous if you've got any of the Murlocs and their advantages. And the final one is Emperor Thorsan. This guy is pretty decent. If you've got the Blackrock Mountain expansion, you should have this guy. Obviously, at the end of your turn, for at least for one turn, you could reduce the cost of cards in your hand by one. Now, this guy is not that great in attacking or taking damage. Obviously, there are so many cards set up to deal with this card and stuff like that, but at least for one turn you could reduce the cost of cards in your hand by one, so that'd be pretty decent. So yeah, this is basically the deck, and I you could potentially remove Visera and get another legend such as yeah, at least Starseeker, because I mean this legend is pretty can be summoned pretty early and shuffle the map to the golden monkey into your deck, and then the golden monkey, which obviously you guys may be knowing, um, it just transforms your hand and your whole deck to all legendary minions, which is pretty sick. So yeah, I'll just do that and I'll put this. So this is basically the deck, and this is the spread. So we've got 7 cards of 1 mana, 6 cards 2 mana cost, 4 cards 3 mana cost. 4 mana costs are pretty largely used because mid-range cards, so 8 cards, no 5 mana cost cards, 1 6 mana cards, and 4 cards of 7 plus mana. So thanks guys for watching, and you could suggest me some stuff I could make changes in the comment section below, and probably I'll just update this video if there's some updation needed. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you later.